Has this very niche scenario ever happened to you? Gee whiz, I really wish there was something fun I could do to fill my time instead of doom scrolling my day away. Well, listen up, chumbo, because I have just the thing for you. Did you know that if you learn to crochet in 2025, you could turn that frown right upside down? Can you guys tell I was a theater kid in high school? I feel like I could be wrong. I feel like I've never worn this sweatshirt in a YouTube video. Definitely I have on my TikTok, but in case I haven't, or if I have, then just ignore me. But look at this sweatshirt. My man had it made for me or whatever. I think it's so cute. Also, it has like a little plug on the back. It's like, follow me on TikTok, follow me on YouTube. It is so adorable. Literally a walking advertisement. Love that man. Hey babes. Welcome back to MoonbaeCrochet. It's Brandy, and today I have a fun video for you guys. As you may have noticed, if you've been following me for a little while, I love a list. I am a list girl. I have to write down everything in my phone on paper. Like, if I don't write things down in list form, I will forget everything I need to do. I will forget talking points. And so anyways, yeah, I don't know. I've been like this since I was a kid. I have to write down lists for everything, and it's a part of my personality. I don't know what to say. I love a list. As you might have seen from all the videos where I'm listing things. And we have here yet another list video, and this is going to be my list on all the reasons why you, yes, I'm talking to you, need to learn how to crochet in 2025. I feel like a good portion of the people who follow me on here probably already crochet or knit or do some kind of activity like that. I'm hoping that this reaches people who do not yet know how to crochet or have been thinking about it but maybe just like haven't delved in yet. Let me be the reason that you decide, you know what, let me go buy a hook. Let me go buy some yarn. I have been crocheting for about 10 years now. I love it. It is basically my entire personality. Anytime I'm pretty much not doing anything else, like, you know, at work or doing the dishes or cleaning or filming a video, I am crocheting. Sometimes I am crocheting and filming a video at the same time because content creation, baby. But yes, needless to say, I love crochet. It is one of my biggest passions in life, and I feel like people who get into crochet also feel this way. And so if you've been thinking about it, you've been considering maybe I should learn a new hobby or learn how to crochet or do like something, right? Here are my reasons why you should learn how to crochet in 2025. Starting off strong with number one, new year, new hobbies. Everybody always wants to be like new year, new me. And you know, I feel like that never works. You are still the same old you. Not to say that you can't, you know, make changes to improve your life. Definitely you can. And you should, as long as it makes you happy and makes you feel good. However, I feel like when you put a requirement on yourself at the beginning of a new year, like this year's going to be different. I'm going to overhaul my entire diet, and I'm going to go from never going to the gym ever to going to the gym 5 to 6 times a week. And I am going to, you know, when you start putting all of these things on yourself at the beginning of the year, I feel like you're kind of setting yourself up for failure. I feel as though you should implement little things over time, and then that is how you create sustainable change in your life. And I think it is the same thing with new hobbies and new passions and stuff like that, right? If you want to learn how to crochet in 2025, your goal shouldn't be, okay, starting January 1st, I'm going to start making a freaking tapestry blanket. Slow down. But definitely if you want to learn a new craft or a new hobby, put that as one of your, you know, resolutions. I don't really even like calling them resolutions. Like, let's just make changes and, you know, see how it goes. Gaining a new hobby in the new year could be like a totally fun thing. It's like something that you look forward to rather than it feels like a chore, you know what I mean? It's a great way to branch out, try something new, and what better time than the new year to think about new things that you want to implement into your life, right? You know what I've been really wanting to try for like the longest time, but I just haven't gotten around to it? Punch needling. I actually have all of the supplies for it. I just haven't done it. In fact, I don't know if you can see, but this thing back here, this little like pole looking thing, is actually one of the, I don't even know what you call it. It's like the mat for the punch needling. It just sits there forever, and I've had it forever, and I just have not gotten around to trying that. But yeah, so I think the new year is a perfect time to implement new hobbies, right? Because hobbies don't feel so daunting like trying to overhaul a complete, you know, portion of your life. It feels like something fun, like, oh, let's try this now, or let's like learn this stitch today, or let's try this. Obviously you're not going to be good at something right when you first start trying to do it, but the more you work at it, you can work at it all year long. And then by the end of 2025, when we're about to go into 2026, you can see, wow, like, look where I started, and now look where I'm at. And like, the sky's the limit from here. Like, I'm gonna keep on improving or whatever. Or if you find that you don't end up liking it, then you move on to a new hobby. But I think the new year is the perfect time to implement new hobbies, don't you? Okay, number 2 on my list is, it's therapeutic as heck. Now, don't get me wrong. There are moments in crochet where I'm crocheting and I realize I missed a color change, or I missed a stitch, or I miscounted my stitches. And me, being the perfectionist that I am, get really upset and I start frogging my work, and I'm probably screaming obscenities at it or whatever. But for the most part, crochet is super, super forgiving. It's not like knitting, where I feel like, I never really got the hang of knitting, but I definitely know, like, if you drop a stitch in knitting and you don't catch it right away, it can ruin your entire project, right? But with crochet, I feel like if you skip a stitch on accident, it's so easy to just kind of like sneak another one in there somewhere to make it the exact stitch amount, or you could just be off one stitch the entire time and literally nobody will be the wiser, depending on how you seam your item together and stuff like that. So yeah, crochet is definitely such a therapeutic hobby in my opinion, because it allows you just to kind of turn off your brain for a minute. It allows you some time to just sit there, maybe listen to some nice music, have some good like snacks on hand, or like throw on your favorite show and just like relax. Like, it can be such a fun, relaxing thing. Like, if you're not in a rush to get something done, if you want to just crochet like a nice big blanket and it's just, single crochets or half double crochets or whatever, just sitting there, it is such a fun time. I promise you. It sounds very nerdy. Maybe it is, but I'm telling you, it is very nice. Number 3 on my list of why you should learn to crochet in 2025 is that clothing is 100% customizable. I feel like this, obviously you have to learn how to crochet. And once you get into crocheting, if you find that you really like to make wearables, it can be so helpful. Specifically, like, if you are somebody who is like plus size and you find it hard to go find clothing in the store that fits properly, or on the opposite end, if you are somebody who's like extremely petite and you also find that it's hard to find clothing that fits you right, and you're into maybe like that boho kind of look, you can crochet pieces for yourself, and like, as you're making it, you're like holding it up to yourself. Like, you can find out if it's going to fit you or not. You can be trying it on the entire time. If you feel like, okay, no, I need to make this longer, take it down, start adding more stitches. If you feel like, no, this needs to come in more, take out some work and like, fix it how you want. Like, once you learn how to crochet, you can make pieces that hug your body the way that your body deserves to be hugged. That can be extremely nice. Like, even if you're not on like, one end of the spectrum or another, as far as like not being able to find clothes that fit you properly, sometimes just being able to customize your own clothing is super cool. You like to like wear funky things out that you can't find in the store, people are like asking you like, oh, where'd you get that? You're like, I made it, like whatever, it's a cool feeling. But specifically, I think it's like super helpful to be able to make something that fits your body, and literally there is no limit. There is no like size chart. There is no like, oh, this only goes up to a 3X, or, this is extra small and it still doesn't fit me quite right. Like, there is none of that, because you are creating it and you have the option to just like completely customize it. I mean, I feel like there's a better word for this, but you are literally creating this piece for yourself. And I feel like that is a very beautiful thing. Number 4 on my list, which might be one of my favorites, retail therapy, baby, with a little bit of a disclaimer, a little bit of a caveat. If you are somebody that gets your kicks from literally just like scrolling through Amazon and being like, add to cart, purchase. Like, if you love shopping, shopping for crochet supplies, mainly yarn, is so much fun. Now, obviously, you run into issues when you're over consuming and you end up with like a gigantic yarn stash, okay, and like then you don't have places to put it and stuff. Obviously, my caveat here is don't go overboard, but getting into a new hobby and then like buying supplies for that hobby, So fun. So fun. And then once you get more used to crocheting and stuff, you get to experiment with other types of yarn. Like if you just start with basic cotton or acrylic, and then you get real comfortable with that. So you're like, oh, like let me try velvet. Let me try chenille. Let me try like that scrubby yarn. Like there's so many fun things that you can do. Can you shush? Like what? Has anybody ever heard like a super loud engine revving and thought, oh my God, so attractive? I don't actually think so. I don't think that one person like that exists. I think the only people that think that is attractive is the person revving their engine. I'm sorry for my tangent. Imagine you couldn't even like hear the engine revving outside, so it sounds like I'm just going off about nothing. Anyway, but yeah, man, I cannot tell you like the dopamine rush you get from walking into a Joann or a Michael or Hobby Lobby, or literally like Walmart sells yarn now, like any store really that sells supplies for your craft, and you go in there, dude, I even like get excited when I have to buy a new box of stuffing. Like, wow, I finished a whole 5-pound box of stuffing, a whole 10-pound box. Like, wow, look at me. It's real fun. It's real fun. But once you start getting like a huge stash, you do need to kind of reel it back. You do need to watch it a little bit. But if you like a little retail therapy every once in a while, learn to crochet. You'll have fun. Number 5 on my list of why you should learn to crochet in 2025 is that you can potentially save money when gift giving. If you're a person that likes to give gifts that are like from the heart, and you like to give gifts that mean more than just like a gift card at a store or just like a random, you know, like bag of treats or whatever, if you learn to crochet and you start crocheting gifts for your loved ones, it has the potential to save you money if you don't like really think about it in terms of, okay, well, I spent this much on yarn, and you know, if you're not going out to buy new yarn for this project, right, that you are gifting to somebody for the holidays or for the birthday or whatever it may be. If you already have the yarn in your stash and you know, don't really have a project in mind for it necessarily, but you think, oh, like I could make this person a beanie out of this color. They like that color, and you know, whatever. It's like, I don't know if this is girl math, but I don't think of it in terms of like, oh, okay, but I spent $5 on that yarn and whatever. I think of it like, oh, I already had this yarn, so now this item that I'm making is technically free. I don't know if other people think like that, but to me, it feels like you could save money. But also, yeah, because it's like, if I could make one beanie out of just like one skein of like Big Twist value or something, that's like $3 for the skein of yarn. And all it took was, you know, probably a few hours of my time, which some people think time is money. In my humble opinion, I would be crocheting with my time anyway, so now this gift that I'm making is free. The caveat to that one is that, you know, if you end up going to the store to buy brand new yarn, like real soft, silky yarn or whatever for this specific project that you want to gift this person, and you know that, oh, like I need quite a few skeins of that, then you could run into the potential where it's like, okay, well, it might have been cheaper to just buy them a sweater already made, you know, instead of making them a sweater. But still, it's just so fun. It just feels so loving to give somebody something that you crocheted with your own 2 hands. It's such a gratifying feeling. And yeah, it has the potential to save you money if you don't, you know, do those things that I just said. Number 6 on my list of reasons why you should learn to crochet in 2025 is that you could create the items of your dreams. Your mind is literally the limit. If you love a really niche thing that you can't necessarily find in stores very easily, you can just create that item. Obviously, this has to, you know, this comes with time, of course. You learn how to crochet, you got all the basics down. If you start learning how to design your own items, if you're like, okay, well, I know how to like single crochet and I could make that shape and whatever, just sketch out some like designs for this thing that you love, and you can just create it. You can literally turn strings into things, bars. It's the coolest thing ever. It really is like, you know, oh, I've never seen anybody crochet this before. I would love to see that. You just do it. You just make it yourself. That's a very cool thing to be able to do as well, because then people will be asking you, oh my gosh, how did you create that? Now that's a whole other thing. Like if you're actually going to be writing patterns out to like give to other people, but just in kind of like the small scope of things, you can literally just create items that you see in your mind that you can't find patterns for. You know, if you want to make something and you can see it in your head and you cannot find a pattern for it anywhere, you create it. You can make it. You can literally turn nothing into something. It's awesome. Number 7 on my list of reasons why you should learn to crochet in 2025 is the community. The crafty community, whether it be online or if you have other crafty friends, or you know, maybe there's like a club in your area that they get together and do crafty things, whatever the case may be, the community that you build is so lovely. Like, I don't know, I can't even explain it to you guys. Like, whenever I post videos on here and I see like your lovely comments of you guys telling me what it is that you're working on, or that you enjoyed this thing that I shared and you can't wait to make one for yourself, I think that the community that you build when you start learning, getting into a new craft, whether it, or like, I don't know, even like a book club, for example, like, when you get into something that is like so specific and it feels like good to you, the people that you meet along the way, it's so lovely. Like, I was just talking in my last video about how Jada and Stitches, like my crochet icon, commented on my YouTube video, and that was like wild to me. Like, I don't know, I know like I'm not trying to get like parasocial here. I'm not trying to like treat her like she's some crazy celebrity, but she is like literally the woman who I'm like, I pretty much learned everything I know about crochet through her. And it's so amazing. But like also over on my TikTok, like I have made so many friends, like online friends, just based on this craft that we love to do. And I love to see these things that people are creating. It is just so fun. It's a nice way to make new friends, basically. It's a nice way to just like get to know other people. It's just great. I just love it. So if ever you just, feel like you want another sense of community outside of like maybe your direct family or like your coworkers or like classmates, you learn a craft, you start getting into those communities online or like in person, if there's like a real life club that gets together or whatever, I think that you will have a good time meeting these new people and sharing like a common interest. On the flip side of what I just said in my last point, my 8th point for why you should learn to crochet in 2025 is that if you are an introvert, this is perfect for you. Perfect. I am the biggest introvert, okay? You may as well tattoo a big ol' I on my forehead, okay? I think, no joke, if I had all of my needs met, like food, whatever, meals made, blah, blah, all this stuff, I could probably go a solid like 2 or 3 weeks without leaving my house. I am not joking. I love being by myself, man. Like, I love it. And don't get me wrong, I love being with like my loved ones too. I love being around my family. I love being with my man, my stepdaughter, all these people, right? I love being around them. But I also thrive by myself. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's, I don't know. It could be because like I was kind of raised like an only child. Like I have 2 older brothers, but they were like way older. So it didn't really feel, they were like grown and gone basically. And so I don't know. I just learned how to do stuff on my own. I learned how to just do crafts and like chill by myself when I was very young, and that has stuck with me my whole life. I love my alone time. I love it. And please don't like feel sad for me. I like legitimately do love my alone time. Like, I don't know, man. It's like I thrive by myself. It just feels so fun. I just feel like nobody gets me like I get me. Nobody knows how to have a good time like me with myself. Me with my crochet hooks. Me with my glass of wine. I'm not even a wine girl. I don't know why I said that. My twisted tea or something. My couple shots of Tito's, whatever the case may be. Ooh, and a nice Alfredo pasta. Okay, I'm getting a little bit off track, but you know what I mean. If you're an introvert and you don't like, maybe you're really shy or you don't really like talking to other people necessarily, or maybe you just don't like going out, a craft like this where it is so independent and you are just working by yourself and you don't need anybody's help to do what you're doing, this is perfect for you. Or, maybe you're, you could be lonely for a different reason. Like, there's so many scenarios where you could be alone and it's maybe turned you into an introvert and you don't really know, how to fill your time. You could very well learn a new hobby like this and it could like fill your life with so much joy. Like it could like really, I don't know, turn things around for you. If you feel like you are missing something, try a new hobby. Like try crochet. It is so fun, I promise you. Number 9 on my list of reasons why you should learn to crochet in 2025 is that it gives you a chance to unplug. It gives you a chance to disconnect from, if you find yourself for like, you could literally be doom scrolling on TikTok or Instagram reels for like hours. If you've ever taken a look at your screen time and felt like, wow, what is wrong with me? Something like crochet could very well be a nice hobby for you. And don't get me wrong, when I'm crocheting, I definitely still have something on my phone, like a YouTube video, for example. I've like Curtis Connor or like Danny Gonzalez, Hannah Alonso, whatever. Somebody playing in the background. I love to just like listen to these people like podcasts or whatever. So it's not necessarily that like I am completely disconnected, right, from my technology, but I also feel like I'm doing something productive with my time. I don't feel like I'm literally just sitting there staring at my screen. I'm just listening to a nice video, or it could be like music or something like that. Like whatever way the wind blows, whatever way I'm feeling that day, that is what I do. And, it makes me feel good to be doing something with my hands, getting my brain realigned and focused, and, you know, just having something on in the background and, you know, not having that feeling of scrolling all day long like that. It's a vicious cycle. I feel like it can get very addicting, and I feel like by the end of it, it does not feel like it improved your life at all. It definitely feels like you wasted so much time just being on your phone. But if you learn to do something like this, you have something to kind of fill those gaps, right? Where, you know, you could still have something on, but then you're doing something. You're utilizing your beautiful hands and your brain and just, you know, doing something fun, creating things. It's nice. Gets you off that tech for at least a little while. And the 10th and final reason that I have listed, although there are probably so many more, 4 reasons why I think you should learn to crochet in 2025 is it gives you a chance to develop a personal style. Once you get really comfortable with crochet to where like you feel like you don't even need a pattern anymore, like you see something and you're like, I could make that, and then you just like go and you do it. That one item that you do without a pattern because you feel confident now is not only going to be like so cool because like you made it, but it's like it is going to be 100% your own. The item you crochet is never going to look exactly like the photo that you saw, the inspiration that you got, and that's perfectly fine because it is 100% yours. You created it. You didn't need a pattern. You just winged it. You basically just took full creative liberties and you designed this thing all on your own. And I feel like developing your personal style is such a fun thing. Like you could end up really loving how your own items come out, and you know, you don't even need patterns anymore. You can just you freehand everything that you do, and like maybe you might start creating patterns. You get real confident and start like writing out patterns for other people, which is like, it's like a full circle moment, right? Like when you first start crocheting, you might start with like free tutorials on YouTube, and then you like, okay, like I think I could read a crochet pattern now. Like you go purchase a pattern from Etsy, and then after that you're like so comfortable that you're like, I don't even think I need a pattern. Let me just try this, and if it doesn't, you know, if it doesn't work out, well, let me scrap that and try it again until you get something down and you're like, hey, let me write this down, and then you could create your own patterns. It's honestly such a nice thing to be able to do. This is all a completely non-exhaustive list of all the reasons why I think that you should learn to crochet in 2025. Overall, I will just say crochet is just one of the nicest hobbies one could have. Okay, crochet has been around for hundreds, maybe thousands of years. You know, it's just such a nice thing to be able to do. And I think honestly, even though there's such a large community of it online, you don't meet somebody that crochets every day. Like you really don't. I feel like we're kind of few and far between. Getting to be a part of this community is one of like the best things that I have ever done. I love it. I would not change it for the world, and I really feel like you would enjoy being here as well. Not to mention just like literally turning strings into things, turning yarn into like these beautiful creations is such a fun, satisfying feeling. Like you're like, wow, I really did that with my own 2 hands. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, you guys. It's just lovely. If you've been on the fence for a while thinking that you want to learn a new craft, or you want to get into crochet, or you see people crocheting and you're like, you know, thinking about it, but you're like, oh, it looks kind of hard or whatever. Let me just be the one. This is your sign. Learn to crochet in 2025. I do not think that you'll regret it. And please don't give up if you're not great at it at first, okay? Nobody is great at it at first. If somebody is great at it at first, they are one of the chosen ones, okay? Because at first, I'm telling you, when I look back at some of the things that I made in my early days of like crocheting, jump scare a little bit. But now I look at my items and I'm like, wow, if I didn't go through all that work and that like time of learning and like honing my craft, I wouldn't be right here where I'm at today. So very gratifying, very nice feeling. So I think if you start learning to crochet in 2025, by the end of the year, you will be thanking me. But that is pretty much all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for always being here. Always just the outpouring of love that you guys always show me is incredible. Even when like YouTube doesn't like necessarily push my video out there too hard in the algorithm, wonderful things still happen, like Jada and Stitches commenting on my video. I'm never gonna get over that. And I'm never gonna get over the fact that we are at almost 1,500 subscribers. Like, what is going on? I mean, who knows? By the time this video goes up, what if we have it already? And if we do, like, thank you so much. But like, even if we don't, like, you guys, the amount of subscribers that we have right now, I never would have imagined getting here, much less this quickly. Like, I feel like this happened pretty fast, and I can't even imagine like where we're gonna be by the time 2025 ends. I mean, we're still, you know, we still got a couple weeks left of 2024, but I just love the things that we're doing here, you guys. And please, if you have any suggestions for videos you'd like to see on this channel, leave them in the comments down below. I love to read them. I love to see what you guys are interested in seeing from me. I really need to start like getting on figuring out more or less what I'm going to be filming for 2025. So any suggestions you have are more than welcome, because I want to know what you guys want to see. You know, I am here for you. I am a woman of the people. We are literally, I think, like a week away from Christmas, which is wild to me. So please let me know how your holiday crocheting is going. Please make me feel less alone, because you know I'm not even close to done. And you know, I want to know how you guys are doing too. Please help me to feel like I'm not drowning by myself over here. Thank you guys again so much for being here. Thank you. I appreciate you all. Love you all, and I will see you guys in the next one.